ठीक है जी। नहीं, मैं उसको कह रही हूँ, गौहर को। जी। ये ठीक है, मैंने आपको एक डॉक्यूमेंट भेजा, मुझे उसका प्रिंट निकाल दो।
फिर वो ये सब कोर्स बना दो। फिर करेंगे।
हेलो साइमा। हेलो। हाय। Why can't I unmute you? Gohar, I cannot unmute Saima.
Make her the co-host.
Oh, okay. Saima, I'm going to make you the co-host.
I am also doing it now.
I
No,
did
I
that.
can't. You have.
I
Yeah.
did that already. Yeah.
सबको को होस्ट करना पड़ेगा जो प्रेजेंटर्स हैं।
बस अदील है, और I'm sending him a message to join.
अच्छा, गुड टू सी यू साइमा। आप हर जगह सेशन कर रहे हो, हमें नजर नहीं आते। हाँ, रिकॉर्डिंग अभी बंद कर दो बेटा, रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही है।
Yes, now I can unmute myself.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So, first, I will take this opportunity to give you a quick recap of what we have done at FTCU and why our context is so different and unique. So, ChatGPT being the first generative AI that became available to the public, it became available to the public in the late November 2022. And CLT hosted its first conversation on ChatGPT in early January 2023. Following that, we collected a lot of data from the faculty, students, and staff to identify patterns in usage and what could be our challenges. We were still trying to, of course, understand that what is this new revolutionary technology and how best can we benefit from it. Moving forward in 2023, our biggest accomplishment was to develop the institutional support structure in the form of institutional guidelines for faculty, staff, and students. We also nominated about 100 faculty members to participate in an online course offered by Auburn University in America. And this was done with the vision to later on cascade that training on campus. And by June 2025, like this year, June, we will have 100% faculty literacy on use of AI. So given this context, we are not newbies to AI. We understand what is AI. We all understand that how to generate prompts. We have talked about it. We have included a lot of guidelines on designing effective prompts for students as well as for faculty. Now is the time for us to actually start thinking about what is the what is the range of possibilities for liberal arts. What could be the challenges for liberal arts education when we use AI? How do we prepare our students for future evolution in AI? Because we don't know how this new technology is going to shape up in future. Our students should be able to unlearn and relearn. So we have to talk about the skill set that we need to impart to our students for them to be able to successful users of AI in future. So, keeping in mind all of these things, we thought about discussing the contextualized use of AI on our own campus. So we gave out a call to our faculty to showcase their innovative use of technology, and also to talk about student-related issues in using AI. We also gave them an option to share their innovative practices in research collaborations and personal learning, entertainment, and social interaction. We received an overwhelming response from the faculty, and after going through the proposals that were submitted by the faculty, we actually sorted them out in 3 overarching themes. These overarching themes include teaching-related AI, learning-related AI, and leadership and AI. And 14 faculty members from FCCU are going to bring in their practices. They are going to showcase their work, how they are using AI, different AI tools in what they are doing. So we have faculty representation from different disciplines. Right now on the screen, the experts that you see, it does not include the experts of our last session, which is leadership and AI. So if you're interested in, projecting your work and projecting your leadership qualities as how you're augmenting them by using AI, you're welcome to join that session, and you can write to me after the session is over and share your intention of participation. So this series is actually going to delve deeper into these 3 types of, how AI is modifying teaching related operations, how AI has modified students' learning, and leadership trends. So the session, there are going to be 2 sessions housed only for teaching related AI. Then we have 1 session on learning related use of AI, and last session will be dedicated to leadership and AI. So within this entire range of conversation that we are going to have, we are going to move from teaching to learning and to later on to leadership. But there are 3 standard takeaways that we intend for our participants. You should be able to understand innovative use of AI tools. You should also be able to understand what type of human skills are required for effective use of AI. And these human skills are, will be conceived from the perspective of teachers as well as students. And then for every AI tool that we talk about, we are going to mindfully talk about the ethical issues and how can we mitigate the risks associated with those tools. So in order to, become proactive, we have to think about these things before students use the different AI tools, and it will avoid, it will prevent us from being reactive. So that is why we have mindfully incorporated the ethical issues and risk mitigation for different AI tools. Today's session, as Gohar has initially explained, that we are going to talk about feedback loop method. Building on to this, Dr. Saima is going to talk about how to customize your GPT. Then we are going to talk about ethical considerations for GPT specifically, and Dr. Adeel is going to talk about application of Notebook LM. Each one of us is also going to reflect on what sort of human competencies are required to be able to master all what we are going to talk about. So without wasting any further time, I'm going to talk about feedback loop method. Now, what is feedback loop method? You must have often heard that we say that, oh, ChatGPT or the AI has enabled the users to contextualize learning, to personalize learning. Now, this is a blanket terminology, personalizing learning. What is it exactly? What is personalized learning? Personalized learning is basically when users or when the tutor identifies user learning trends, learning preferences, the learning profile, and contextualizes everything accordingly. That is what is personalized learning. So how to create personalized learning? Now, the first incident when we use ChatGPT, or I'm going to specifically talk about ChatGPT. So every time I say GPT, I mean to, I'm making a reference to ChatGPT. So in the first incident, when users use ChatGPT, it does not know who's the user, what's the context, which degree program they are enrolled in, what is their maturity level as students or in their degree career path. We have to tell this. The user has to tell this to GPT in order for the GPT to retain that information in the memory bank and then to further contextualize the output. So what happens usually, we give a prompt, then there is an output, and we ask the students to contextualize that output. We have included details and some strategies of creating strong prompts, writing effective prompts for ChatGPT, but we really have not, so far we haven't really talked about how to contextualize the output that we receive from ChatGPT. And this contextualization of output is not, it cannot be accomplished in one episode only. I mean, it is an episodial intervention. Every time you give a prompt to ChatGPT, firstly, your prompt needs to be really strong and it has to be comprehensive. Then the output that you receive, that output becomes your second prompt. And how you contextualize it, you can contextualize it by giving feedback. Now, what sort of feedback should we give to ChatGPT or to any GPT? Now, there are different features of an effective feedback. It has to be iterative. It has to talk about the tone. Which tone has the ChatGPT adopted to present you your output? Of course, the content needs to be clear and specifically relevant to what you're looking at. You have to give instructional guidelines to get a format of your own choice, and also use examples and analogies for the GPT to understand your expectations. But these are the general features of giving feedback to ChatGPT. What happens with the passage of time? Now, all of this, what I'm going to present to you, or what I'm presenting right now to you, it's an outcome of a short-term research that I conducted in my own 100-level course with the students. It's a mixed group of students. Some students represent second semester, and some are in the towards the end of their degree, sixth or seventh semester. So we actually, kept a track of the prompts and how the output was modified over a period of 6 months. It was difficult for me to give you, to share this journey with you by sharing screenshots. So what I did, I wrote all of my findings and I used an AI tool, which is napkin.ai. And all of this that's visible to you on your screens is being created by Napkin based on the findings that I reported to Napkin. So all of this is an outcome of a research project that I have led in my own course. Now, after the period of 6 months, I asked ChatGPT that, who do you think I am? What do you think I do? And this is the description that it gave me. It thought that I am a curriculum learning design specialist and I work at Center for Learning and Teaching. Now, all of this is stored in its memory. Then I asked ChatGPT that, what is my writing style? What do you understand about my writing style? Now, at this point, I realized a challenge in creating the memory bank for ChatGPT. It has picked up my writing style and my, preferred style of of developing the final output of whatever I'm doing. But if you look at the fourth bullet, it says that you write both in English and Hindi with ease. And then I figured out that it has picked up because my daughter learns Urdu and she often uses ChatGPT to compose some, summaries or the other stuff using her curricular content at school. So now this is how the data is polluted. Now, myself and my daughter, because we share the same ChatGPT account, so it has picked up. And the overview that it's giving me about my writing style, it has picked up that I'm a multilingual user and I use Hindi. It hasn't picked up Urdu, but it says that it is Hindi and I can write with ease in Hindi. So this, identified or this surfaced one of the great challenges that I'm going to talk about later in my slides. Now, GPTs are self-learning tools, but they need human feedback. They don't know who we are. They don't know what is our context. They don't know what is our need. So we have to continuously incorporate our context and our needs and our requirements, our priorities for the output, for it to self-learn based on our feedback. Now, what type of feedback works the best for AI bots? This is also an outcome of a 6-month-long project with my students. We tried different types of feedback, and in our opinion, the best feedback, now it's a range of different types of feedback. So, but your feedback needs to focus on correctness of the information, the factual information, relevance of the content, clarity in the content. If the content has been drafted completely, which means that you have to go back to your prompt and see if you have given a complete description of what you intend the AI to do. You have to also, your feedback needs to talk about some bits of creativity. You have to talk about the tone and style. So this is the different types of feedback that we thought that, we have to mindfully phrase our feedback in a way that it touches or it reflects all of these attributes. Now, the challenges in feedback loop method, we have talked about it that, when you use ChatGPT, when you continuously give feedback, ultimately the product or the output reaches the personalized level. And that's how you personalize the ChatGPT and its output. But what are the main challenges that our students face? Now, the students use unpaid version of GPT, which has limited memory. It does not, when you, if memory expires after the session is terminated. It does not store the memory, and then it cannot, of course, retrieve the memory as well. So the unpaid version of ChatGPT, which is most widely used on our campus, which means that we are not helping the algorithm to train itself. We are everything, all the data that we are putting in ChatGPT, it is not contributing to creating the algorithm, which is a concern because you see, if we keep on using unpaid versions, all our data will be lost. We know that we talk about data privacy issues, but this is important. This is important for the users to train their own data according to them. Then in my case, as I'm using I'm sharing my profile with my daughter, so it has amplified a bias. That means that and which is a very common practice. I know I've spoken to many students and they say that ChatGPT paid version is available for 800 rupees or for 1,000 rupees. And we share this, our profile with, let's say, 10 other people. Now, when 10 different people representing different contexts are using the same user profile, it is like creating a lot of confusion for your GPT. Because they don't know when Mehwish Raza is working and when Anabia Raza is working. So that's again a very complex situation, and sharing user profiles is not going to help the data to train itself. Lastly, interpretation of feedback. Many a times ChatGPT responded back, I don't understand what you're asking me. How should initially when students used to give feedback to ChatGPT, it very often it would return this comment that, I don't understand what you're asking me to do, or it would rephrase the same output in different language, but with still, the same lacking. So that brings us to an important point that do our students know how to phrase feedback? Now, feedback giving requires a lot of practice. And of course, we can have another session. I was discussing with Dr. Rukhsana in the morning. I think all of these 4 things that I have identified as a result of my 6 months long research project with the students. I think students need a lot of training on giving feedback. They don't know how to give feedback. It's a very straightforward monologue kind of a statement that they write for the AI bots, and it does not encourage dialogue. So we are going to, the effective feedback strategies. We are going to have another session later sometime, and it will be a hands-on session in which we can talk about that, how to practice giving feedback. That's another important aspect. But the user competencies, coming down to the human skills, in the end, it all depends on the human skills. AI is not going to replace human beings. That's just a myth. So when AI is not going anywhere and we are the users and we have to navigate our ways, then of course we need to have certain competencies and human skills that enable us to take charge of technology. For that, our students need to have the ability to create a two-way conversation, a dialogue with the AI bot. That's important. Our students need to have observation skills. Every time ChatGPT or any other model produces an output, students have to read it carefully and also, highlight the pieces of text that they feel is unclear or maybe ambiguous or incorrect, and give that annotated text back to ChatGPT. That's a very powerful way of modifying the output. Then explicit feedback. We have to identify errors. When we write blanket statements that give me authentic references, okay, you're telling the AI bot to give you authentic references, but you haven't highlighted that which references are fake. That is also a big lacking, giving blanket statements which are very generic, very uplifted, and not talking about exactly what is incorrect and what is a faulty statement. Lastly, the fourth very important skill that students need to have is goal decomposition, breaking out your larger goal into small targets. And how to now that it's not very easy. I have worked with students and I feel that students don't understand what should be the sequence of smaller milestones. How should they plan to achieve the final benchmark by going through different milestones? So these are the human skills that we need to teach our students. These skills are very generic. These are not taught under any degree program. So a big question, when do we teach the students to give feedback? A good strategy to, overcome this challenge would be if every instructor adds some activities in your ongoing course plan that encourages students to talk to each other, that engages students in peer feedback. That could be a good exercise for students to give a productive, reflective, and explicit feedback to their peers. And then the next step could be giving the feedback to AI bots. Another possibility could be to inculcate these essential skills in University 100. When students just, enter FC College University, they should be able to understand that, we have to learn how to communicate in order to achieve a final product. We need to think about how are we inculcating these skills, because no degree program, I know for sure that these are very generic skills and not added as such as program learning outcomes, but these are essential skills. With this, I'm going to invite Dr. Saima Majeed to further build on this concept of contextualizing GPTs. So Saima, please share your screen with us.
Ji, thank you very much, Dr. Mavish. So, yes, now I'm sharing my screen. And so hopefully you can see my screen.
Yes, now we can.
Okay. So as Dr. Mavish just told you about that, I'm going to tell you how you can customize your own
Saima,
GPTs.
actually, we can't
For course,
see anything on your screen. Now you have to go into the slideshow mode, please.
now you can see that.
There's always a delay. Let's see. We can see the slide version, but not the presentation mode. Yeah,
Now you can
now
Okay.
it's still the slide version, but anyways, yeah, carry on.
So yes, as just Dr. Mavish told you that AI now become the integral part of academia, and so it is inevitable. It is a big change, and so we have an opportunity to enhance student through responsible and targeted use of GPTs. So today, basically, I'll guide you about how you can create your own custom GPT that is tailored according to your own course, ensuring that it retrieves accurate, referenced, and bias-free content. As previously, Dr. Mavish also told you, and we all know that GPTs sometimes provide misinformation, they can hallucinate, they can provide information which is biased. So as educator and as teachers, so we really want that our student must use GPTs. They can use it for their conceptual clarity, even can assist them in their different tasks, but their the references should be right, or it could not be coming from any you can say made up references. So custom GPT is basically a version of chat GPT. There you can make your own a kind of course pack, a kind of course companion where you can upload your documents that could be in form of PDF files, your own lecture notes, rubrics, APA manuals. Let's say you want to upload those reference book. You want that your student must use only those reference book while they are making their concept clear, while they are brainstorming, while they are assisting themselves for their making their assignments or their presentations or their projects. So you can upload your own documents there, and then this is very good that you can set your own instructions. For example, you as an educator, you want that your students always cite references. So you can instruct your custom GPT that always cite APA 7th edition, as we mostly in psychology we use APA 7th edition. And we can further instruct a GPT that never speculate beyond the uploaded material. So this is another safeguard that student or GPT results should be coming only from our material. That is our reference book, our own notes, in which we are very clear and confident that they are not biased. Let's say we want to give them information through journals or through articles. So those articles which are not biased, which are in open access and ethically and responsibly, student can use only those materials. So we have that opportunity to upload those materials. And then define your roles. For example, you can define the role of GPT, your custom GPT, whether that GPT should behave like a teaching assistant or a tutor or a companion or a kind of counselor, whatever role you want that your custom GPT can give, you can make that. So why you need a custom GPT for your own course, whether there are so many available resources where student can upload material and can get idea from that. So why you need a custom GPT? Why? Because as you know, the student often rely on general AI tools, where it can be produce inaccurate information, inaccurate responses, which are not you can say which are not right, or which are not which the references are maybe wrong. So a customized GPT will allow you, or will give a entire control in your hand as a teacher. So it would be a knowledge base, because information that is coming from those that GPT is based upon your own course material that you have already uploaded in form of books or PDFs, or your articles, your textbooks, slides, notes, whatever material that you want that students should use. So it is a kind of like a Moodle type of thing, where we upload our references, and we always encourage our student to use those reference book. But as you know, sometimes student, or most of the time, they rely on chat GPTs, and they want quick responses, they want quick knowledge or quick answers. So it is the best idea to set a tone and depth of appropriate of your student, with the help of your GPT. You make that GPT for your students and upload your course materials. So you're also very much confident about that, your sources fidelity, ensuring that your answers are derived from the vetted academic references. This is again very much important, that authentic and validated information is coming, because information is everywhere. That is, Google and all those is full of information, but whether it is right, whether it is unbiased, whether it is inclusive, whether it is believe upon diversity or not, as our classroom inclusive education environment in our classroom is also required, that we must make our GPT in according to our students' mindset, or you can say the level of the student. So you can also instruct your GPT whether your students are coming from undergrad or coming from postgrad students, or from any cultural background, or any specific you can say instructions you can give your GPT that is customized for yourself. So now I am going to give you a glimpse of that, how you can make your um, custom GPT. So I'm sharing GPT here. Okay. Hopefully you just give me 1 minute. No, it is not showing. So to show. I cannot share my screen. I don't know why. Just give me 1 minute.
Can you
I
stop
see
to
that we have
share
Anwar
your
Mughal and Adeel. Can they help you with sharing your screen, Adeel and Anwar Mughal? If you can please guide. I
Yes,
wouldn't know how to share my screen, so Any
First,
ideas, Adeel?
Saima need to unshare this screen and
Yeah,
then share
and reshare.
Okay.
Okay,
browser.
Yeah.
okay. See, there's a lot of sharing and knowledge in the group. So we
So-
cannot get stuck up.
Saima, if you could stop to share the your screen right now, and then again reshare the web page that you want to take us to.
Yes. Now I guess you can see my screen.
No,
Or
not the new one. I think if you now put in start sharing, and then I think we will see whatever you share. I know we are not trained for online sessions. It's an in-person, so this will take time. That's okay. We can wait. Yeah, there we can see something happening.
Now you can see my screen.
Not yet.
Okay.
We
Now
can
we
see,
can.
yeah, now the judge. Yeah, please.
Okay, sorry for that.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, so now this is ChatGPT, my paid version, and you can customize your own GPT from here, new Explore GPTs. Click Explore GPT, and then you will get this icon is right upper corner, create, and then you will get this. So in the left side, you can see the name of your GPT. You can name your GPT according to your course. So I usually name it Course Companion because I want that it should be work like a companion. So Course Companion for, let's say, for abnormal psychology course. So you can write here. And even you can display any photo or you want to your students want to see, so you can upload, so you can click upload photo, or you can ask Dolly. Yeah, so Dolly can also draw a picture for or image for you. Here you can write description, so you can add a short description about what is GPT does. So for example, I want to instruct or I want to say that this GPT will tell you about or will help you or will act like a companion for you to assist about like abnormal psychology concepts, and I also concepts. So here I can write some instructions for this particular GPT because I want that this GPT only think in terms of those material which I have uploaded. In form of books, maybe in form of PowerPoint presentations, in form of my own notes or articles. So I can write instructions like this. For example, first instruction could be think only with reference to uploaded material. Now I want that every time student asks some question and GPT will answer in a way that should be reference based. So my second instruction could be always give references. And I also want to teach my student references in APA style, in APA 7th edition. So you can correct your spellings because I'm writing it like fast. So you can always write your spellings. Yes. Then I want that because it's undergrad level and it's a 300 level course. So I don't use any kind of jargons or difficult things. So set a professional educational tone, but still easy to understand for the student. So my third instruction could be don't use jargons, answer in student friendly manner, but still in educational tone. So student can get to know about any they want to study it, they want themselves to answer some questions, or they prepare themselves for quizzes. It is very good idea because they prepare themselves for quizzes from that material which I have uploaded, and that material which is accurate, the information is accurate, it is not hallucinating. So now, okay, so its capabilities, its web search, is Canvas, is image generator, and if your course is also carries code interpreter, data analysis, you can pick it. But because this is a simple academic and theoretical course, so I'm not picking that. Now I configure it and create new action. So if you want to, so now you can import anything from website. So you can also add here. Again, this is a kind of uploading material. You want to upload your books or anything you want to upload, you can. So go back and create. Okay. So click the create button. So anything with the link, I want to share this custom GPT with anyone with the link, so I can provide a link to them. So now you can save it. And if you want to, for example, put this GPT into GPT store, you can also click this. But now I am only giving access to my students. So it is saving. And now this ULR is generated. So I can copy this and I can send this to my students on Moodle through email. So whenever they want to study or information from my course, abnormal psychology course, they can go to this link and can get information. The good thing is that they can try this from their free GPT account as well. It is not only that they can use this with paid version, but they can use it with unpaid version as well. So you can view your GPT. So whether your setting is saved or not. So yes, here we have our course companion for abnormal psychology, and it will act like a companion for you to assist about abnormal psychology concepts. And it is created by me, that is Saima. And now you can ask any question you want. You can upload material and then you can ask any question about abnormal psychology course and it will answer. So this is basically to safeguard or to enhance ethical and responsible use of AI. So student can only, because they are not very much, you can say, concerned about, they only concern about usually most of the time, as Dr. Mavish also said, they don't know about how to prompt and especially how to give the feedback. So whatever the knowledge that is coming is one way traffic kind of thing. So if you as a teacher sure that information is coming from that material which is vetted, which is academically sound. Some important, you can say, disclaimer as well. For example, although it is 90 to 95% that your course companion or your custom GPT is only taking material from your uploaded thing, but about AI, we are not 100% sure. So the disclaimer for the students as well, that if there is very important or critical concepts in your course, always double check from your class or from you or from anything which is given other than this GPT. So in this way, we can make our course pack, which is more reliable, at least and where we can upload. It's an ongoing process. We can upload a material like on daily basis, not a kind of thing that we only upload it at one time. We can upload it at any time, so we can provide feedback to our students through this. As Dr. Mavi said, if more than one profile sharing to like paid version, yes, then it become a problem. So I guess it's a good idea. It's not very expensive. For I buy it like for 6,000 rupees, less than 6,000, some 9 something. So it's not very expensive. You can use it single-handedly for one profile for responsible and ethical use of AI. So this is from my side. If there's any question, I love to answer.
All right. Thank you. So sorry, I was so busy reading the comments, and also as Saima was taking us through this, I was trying it out on my own ChatGPT account as well. And I also found that even if you don't want to make customize the ChatGPT, there is still an option of providing the background information to GPT on what your role is and what do you want this version of ChatGPT to help you with. So we have a few questions which I'm going to take towards the end of the session. I would quickly ask Dr. Adeel to please share his case of using Notebook LM with us, and then we are going to take the questions from the audience. This was very interesting, Saima. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Saima and Dr. Mavish. My talk is more or less similar like Dr. Saima, but the good thing is Notebook LM is free to use. I mean, you can get the paid version, but you can do similar kind of tasks. Dr. Saima, can you unshare your screen that I can share my screen? And you can do more or less similar tasks using Notebook LM. So let me share my power. I rushed to my PowerPoint presentation because wait a minute. First, let me open the presentation.
I'm sure, Adeel, faculty will stay on. So it's a very good session and a very important one. So please.
Okay. Quickly, it is based on the advanced natural language processing model. And the basic idea is to extract key ideas from, there are some subjects or topics that are very complex for the students to understand. Like when I teach research, often they find topics very complex. So there in that course, I use Notebook LM to improve their comprehension. So how we use it, it has a collaborative kind of a thing. It supports teachers and students together, work together in the classroom. And there is less and less outer intervention. Only the documents you have uploaded or you have trained Notebook LM, it will remain with those documents as well. And it encourages and enhances students' engagement in the classroom and live mode, because it is AI integrated, and it really supports the modern pedagogies like critical thinking, creativity, and effective questioning techniques. So what we need to do, upload the content of our lecture in Notebook LM. You can make your separate courses. If you are teaching 3 or 4 courses, you can make separate books for them, and you can upload your lectures in Notebook LM. So the first thing it does, let's say you have uploaded 2 research papers on, let's say, social media and buying behavior. So these research papers are mostly of 15 or 20 pages, and they are very complex with the results and analysis. So it will summarize them automatically. It will not add anything from outside. It will remain concise with those documents only. Then it creates a mental map as well. So it goes further from the summarization to mental map. So you can use that mental map in your classroom in order to talk on the salient feature of those documents. And the next thing is collaboration. You can share that link the way Dr. Saima shared the link of personalized GPT with your students, and they can also interact live with their mobile phones, enabling a notebook LM application. So the best thing about it is student-centric and personalized learning for the students. And it really encourages deep questioning, because there are students in your class, usually they do not ask question, or they probably feel difficulty to understand a concept. So it helps them to formulate questions live in the class. It gives them ideas that this could be asked, or this question could be added to this lecture live in the live format. So that means it's a flipped classroom model. Pre-classroom preparation, let's say last night you have uploaded 3 documents, 3 different research papers in Notebook LM, and it has created different kind of summaries, briefing documents, and student can interact with those documents. All right. And the next day when you go into the class and you start teaching, opening up your Notebook LM and you start teaching your lecture, you will find the students' participation, that how they have interacted with those documents. It also gives students an opportunity to do independent study, and it is really good for the classroom activities as well. The most important thing what I found in my research courses, let's say there are 5 research papers, and you have you have a time of 2 days or 3 days to read those research papers and synthesize the data. I mean, it's a very less time for the students. So when you upload these 3 research papers in the Notebook LM, it will do things within minutes, and students will be able to participate in the class and they will be prepared. So it basically AI generated prompts in that. Automatically, it generates the prompts for the students and give them an idea how to use these documents, what are the important points in these documents. Then it also gives them an idea if there is a timeline. If you are teaching a history course, it creates a timeline or visual elements automatically for them to understand the complex topics. Basic recall questions it develops in students, and it develops analytical skills and higher order thinking in the students, because they are getting a lot of help by synthesizing the complex data. So quickly, I'll take you to the Notebook LM, that you can see how we use Notebook LM. So here is the Notebook LM. I hope you can see on your screen. This is the interface. Can you confirm, Dr. Mavish? Can you see?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
can.
Okay. So this is my account, and it's a free account. It has 2 different panels. One panel is for adding your sources. Let's say I have used 2 documents from CLT. So I will upload these 2 documents quickly: writing effective prompts and CLT ethics and AI encouraging responses. So I have uploaded these documents, and what happens here? So now it's working. So if you see, this has created kind of summary here, and it has given all the sources as well. So what we can do here, we have kind of a thing. We can make study guide. If we click here, so it will create a study guide as well. All right. We can create a briefing document using these documents. And the best thing is, I mean, whatever you create, you can actually use it as a primary source in your left-hand side panel. So when you will save it, and it will be a primary source. Another important thing, which is the best thing about this application, that is basically creating the audio of the document. So whatever you generate here, it will create a conversation, I mean, sometimes students say, sir, this concept is very complex and the language is very much difficult. So it will actually create these documents into a discussion mode. So when you will create this, I have already created it. It will get that feeling. You ask it is a discussion you're between brilliance between two people. But one step further, what it does when you go into the interactive beta mode, you can interact with these people live in the class. I mean, that means from the top corner, when you share this notebook with your students, you can see I have different students here. When you share this with a group of people or 2-3 students, they will become part of that interactive audio discussion as well. And you can save this audio discussion as a source as well here. And then again, you can generate a new debate. So if you see at the end, it has a timeline kind of a thing. So you can do the timeline. These are the save notes from these two documents. It has created extensive documents. So it has a functionality of frequently asked questions. So it will create them. So when I will open this, let's say generating based on two sources. So when it will be generated, it will be here. So now it has created the question, how can I write effective prompts for AI tool like Chat GPT? Then it has created what are some common ethical consideration when using AI in higher education. So, but the responses you are here seeing, they are basically based on only these documents. So it is not taking help from outside. If you want to take more help from the outside, you can add more document or you can add sources as well. You can discover sources from here. All right. You can give the prompt, you can add more and more sources. But what I recommend, you use only 2 or 3 sources and expand on those sources, because when you'll add more sources, what will happen, you will be lost in the translation, because I have done it in my class using 6-7 different sources. It basically elaborates so extensively, it confuses your students. So using 3-4 sources, 2 sources is enough for the research courses or the history courses. So that's the way I have found it very helpful, and especially the discussion mode, because in discussion mode, students really speak and they interact with this application. So that, I guess that's pretty much it. I wanted to go through it quickly. So I'll share my PowerPoint for your use. With the CLT, you can actually see that PowerPoint as well. And I will really urge all of you to use Notebook LM in class live to deliver your lectures and to generate debate using this AI technology. I guess I'm on time.
Thank you so much. This was excellent. Thank you, everyone. So we have a few questions. The first question is from Dr. Saima. I'm just quickly going to share the questions with you, Saima. Dr. Sabato says that can the GPT be integrated into FCCU's LMS, which is Moodle? Do you think that we can integrate it, and if we want to integrate it, what do we need to do that?
I guess this is not a answer that is coming from a faculty, but from the administration, because yes, it's a good idea to provide, I think, paid versions as institutional resource, because we have so many resources and we are very pro, our university administration is very pro towards AI. So I think it's a good idea to incorporate
Absolutely.
such tools into LMS and other, so everyone can get benefit from that.
I think we need to get a license in order to incorporate it into our into the Moodle. So yeah, you're very right about it. The next question is that if when setting these instructions, example, limit the references, do you restrict the purpose of AI, which defeats the purpose of using AI? I really didn't understand it very well. The question is being posted by Dr. Bakr. Are you there, Derek? Can you elaborate on your question? I guess he's not here with
Yes,
us.
the basic idea of custom GPT is to restrict that
Yeah.
hallucination, misinformation, and biased information. So that's why instructions are important.
Yeah,
But
I don't understand what does he mean by the purpose of
Mm.
using AI. So we use AI to, of course, contextualize the output, and it's good to set some parameters in order to personalize the output. So I think that it's self-explanatory. Nazish says that, thank you for the great presentation. And she strongly feels that we tend to equate AI primarily with ChatGPT and mostly focus on prompt engineering, customization, and contextualization. Perhaps this is because logistically, both we and our students mainly have access to ChatGPT. Her concern is that when we provide extensive data and engage in conversations with it, the underlying algorithm may use our own prompts to generate responses that are not necessarily accurate or true. What's your take on this? Please comment. So if you allow me, I would like to respond to this. So Nazish, basically, you have a valid point. Firstly, yes, the history of generative AI goes much much deeper than ChatGPT only. So we really equate generative AI with ChatGPT. When that model became available to public, everybody started to think about it, that what can we do with this model and how it will modify our lives, mainly because of its expansive nature. Because you see, it's mainly for the communication, reading, writing, which kind of intercepts into many domains of our lives. And that is why different people started to talk about its use. There is a whole range of generative AI tools available, which is unpaid, free versions, and students do use those. Majority of students use ChatGPT because they use it as a generative AI for accomplishing a range of writing related tasks. As you all can see, there is also a evaluation for this session available on your screen. Please respond to these two questions. So addressing to what you're saying, this will have implications in future. 10 years from today, when we will have a data set from Pakistan, it will be super polluted. And this is an upcoming concern. Because in our context, we share user profiles. Because you see, we are looking for quick fixes. We are not looking at it from the data building point of view. We are not looking at it from the perspective that we want to build algorithms specifically for South Asian countries, specifically for Pakistan. So yeah, it will have implications in future. 10 years from today, our data will be extremely polluted. It's just the same way that our main cities were not planned before they were placed on ground. Similarly, we are not really thinking how we are modifying this data, and later on these algorithms are going to be super polluted and we will not be able to go back in time and fix those. So this was my comment on it. The next series of questions is from Adeel. Adeel, my question from you is that as you have shown that when we add different files to Notebook LM, it gives a summary. You can share that with multiple users. Now, does it give the same summary to multiple users? And if it does, then there is a serious threat and serious implication to the variety of ideas. When we teach and when we give out reading material to students, we receive different perspectives from students when they read the same text, because they're reading it and they're integrating their own critical thinking and their reasoning, and they're looking at the text differently. But when we use a machine and we have 35 students sitting in our class, we give them a reading material, they put it in the notebook LM. Would it give the same summary to different users, or does it also have an inbuilt memory which has the ability to contextualize the output? Because that's the only way the output will be contextualized, right?
All right. Yes, this is a very important question, Dr. Mavish. It's up to you whether you give your students a briefing document or the summary, or students want to generate summary on the basis of their own interaction with the document. All right. So either you can give them a summary, summarize the document, you can enable that option and give them a briefing document or the summary of that those research papers or those handouts, or they can interact with those documents and generate a new summary. So the way you will generate interact with that document, the question that will come in your mind, that document or that AI algorithm will behave in that way. So in that way, you will have a variety of opinions, a variety of responses in your class. So I believe it's a very good thing.
I think what I understand by this, it all depends on the prompt. Once again, that whatever you ask it to do, it will generate the summary the same way. But if you give a blanket prompt that I want to summarize these two documents, it will just create a summary, right? And it will be hard for Notebook LM to give out different point of views or to give different perspectives about the text. So it's again, in the background, it depends on the users that what sort of prompt, what is your focus, what do you want the Notebook LM to do, which actually, means that it would be good if students interact with the document and they run it through Notebook LM to summarize or to do whatever they want to do with it. But if the teacher creates the file and shares it with everybody, there is a high possibility that the output would be more or less the same.
Yes, but what teacher should do, he or she should upload the documents and then share that notebook with the students and let students do the work or interact with that document. No, the best thing about this notebook LM is the conversational mode. I mean, students can talk in their free time, and that talk will become part of the archives, and that talk can be used in the class as well. Either you want to interact with the text or with audio. All right, and multiple students can actually jump in to the discussion, so it can create a multiplicity of the ideas in the classroom.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing this great resource with us. Our last question from you is that can it make a comparison between different documents?
Yes, it can. It can. If you ask it that make a comparison between these two documents and how you have made that comparison. So it's so interactive that you can ask that I do not agree with this comparison. What if we do this way? So it will open up new world to you. So that is a good thing about it.
So thank you so much. I'm
One
just
thing I want
scanning
to,
the chat for any more questions. Yeah, Saima, please go on.
yes, I just want to encourage all of you and including me just to play with all these gadgets and all these apps and all these GPTs, and it will definitely give you another world. Like this, Sir Adeel said, just to ask, oh, I'm not agree with it. Give another version or give another view. It will give you, and it will start talking to you. So please play with it and explore its capabilities, and you will get like a kind of wonders.
Absolutely. And yeah.
One more thing I want to add here. Yes, there is another possibility for all of you, those who are interested using AI in your classrooms or for your own learning. I'm trying to work with Dr. Mavish and Dr. Ruxana. You can basically, pardon my throat
It's
is
all
not
right.
working. I'm trying to work on an area that you can actually download an AI model on your computer. I have talked to Dr. Mavish about it, and you can actually train that model free of cost using DeepSeek. So probably in the longer run, without an internet, without anything, you can train it on the data that is on your computer. So probably in the longer run, we'll be able to do something on that as well. But there is a possibility.
Yeah. So thank you so much. I have another question from Seemal Jilani. How does Notebook LM ensure that its AI responses extracted from upload sources and not influenced by unrelated internet knowledge? How does the use of Notebook LM redefine authorship of knowledge when AI co-generates summaries, etc.?
The first thing is this model only works with the sources you use in your notebook. Until and unless you use external source, any external source. Let's say you have got 2 research papers from Science Direct, and you think that they are very authentic, and you want your students to go through those research papers, and they are written by very eminent researchers, and you use those sources. So this application will only remain limited to those 2 documents or 3 documents.
Yeah.
It will not use external sources until unless you add external source.
Yeah.
That is the thing. Otherwise, in Chat GPT, if you will add something, it will use automatically its own processing algorithm to use external sources. So it will only limit it to those documents and the discussion that is going on inside that book. So you can create multiple books as well.
That's awesome. Awesome. Great. So thank you so much, Adeel. Thank you everyone for joining us. Please join us in the next session as well. And now I would request Dr. Rukhsana Zia to please close this session and share some words of wisdom with us.
I am extremely impressed. You know, I thought I've been using AI for perhaps since 2022 onwards when I got to know about it. And yet the things that all of you talked about, I did not know. So what a remarkable learning you find facets of AI, and we are all exploring and learning. So lots of kudos to all the presenters and those that will come in the coming days to talk about how they are discovering AI. And one thing is clear, and I'm very excited to say that our campus is not reacting to AI, but it is using AI to work, and it is working with AI to further teaching and learning. And what could be better than that? So it's clear that we definitely, you like AI or you don't like AI. I have heard many voices all over the world that sort of say we have to be cautious. Of course, I understand that, but also with a world that's fastly changing its AI landscape, we cannot be left behind. So AI, even to understand how to be more ethical and responsible, we have to know the A to Z of AI, right? Unless we know what it is capable of, we cannot sort of preempt and make responsible use unless we know how to work around it. And I think what Mavish and Saima and what Adeel were also saying is that there are ethical dilemmas that need to be handled, and we have to be very mindful. So, and another thing becomes very clear, I think, when you talk to the wise VR, perhaps you should say that we need to have our own AI system. And that AI system will take care of lots of those ethical dilemmas and issues of data privacy that we are facing. I think that should be a starting point. It has to be a paid service. The free, I was talking to a group of international group working on AI, and they said we have to be careful, ethical. And I said, as far as we are concerned, I think countries in the global south have given away all their information to these corporations, and we have nothing more to be cautious about. In this interim period, They would know a lot about Pakistan. They would know a lot about FCCU. They would know a lot about each of what we want to know and what you're doing. So thanks to you. And more than that, thanks to, look at, I wish you were worried that faculty will not join. It's holidays, so everybody, and the weather is
Thank
nice.
you so much, everyone. Thank you. It means
Yeah.
a lot, really.
Yeah, and there you are, all of you, 50 plus. So extremely thankful to you for your support, for the confidence you show in us, but more importantly, that you are here to share with each other. That's our purpose. We don't know any better than you. We know and learn from you. So thank you again and goodbye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
And